All right, we're back live, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize about that. I wish I knew what my OBS was doing. It did an update earlier, and now it's kicking my butt for some odd reason, but it's okay. We got this. We're going to go ahead and go on like this never happened here, ladies and gentlemen. As these cars get ready to line up down here on pit road, let's go ahead and take a look now at our starting grid. Starting on the pole, it's going to be Richie Joplin and that number 89 machine, and to his outside, it's going to be that number 20 machine of Corey Crowell. Terry Fennell in that number 50 Racers Elite machine, he'll start on the inside of row number 2. Ryan Warp to his outside. Brandon Puffenberger will be on the inside of row number 3 with Kyle Hess to his outside. Blair Holloman, Kensley Smith will share row number 4. Row number 5, you've got Mike Fudge and Andrew Teft. Row number 6, you got Aaron Roth, and to his outside, Barry Nelson. Row number 7, Jesse Fox, Truth Hoke, Joshua Neal, Jonathan Stidham, Troy Thomas, Dennis Kane, Joe Bonner, JB Harrison, Mikey Allen, Brett Bray, Matt Metler, Rob Yost, Timothy Eisburn, Steve Castle, Casile Castle, something like that. Casile, I want to say. Trevor Fetzig, Steve Vesson. Rounding out your field, it's going to be Jack Kelly in that number 38 machine. So we have a very interesting long race for you guys here today as we get ready to go back green flag racing. Why did you pop back up? I don't know.
And I do want to say the 32 and the 20 did take an EOL to start in the back at the beginning of the race here as we are getting ready to go green.
Yep, and we are getting ready to go back green. Thank you for that information. And we are green flag racing. 29 cars out on this racetrack, beating and banging already as they come to the start-finish line. And we are going to dive down into turn number 1 for the very first time as we have 4-wide action back here in the back.
Yeah, someone missed a gear.
Yeah, someone missed a gear. That 311 just sneaking in between the 40 and number 67 of Mikey Allen. And not sure who that is back there in that number 40 machine. That might be Joe Bonner. Yeah, that's Joe Bonner in that number 40 machine. And Matt Metler right in front of him, he was able to squeeze his way around as they come out of turn number 4 for the very first time. Out front, Richie Joplin, he will take over this top spot as we have side-by-side racing going on behind him. Rob Yost down into the front field grass as they now dive up into the baking here once again in turns 1 and 2. So this track is going to act more like a restrictor plate track for these race cars. So we're going to see more along the less, of super speedway style racing. And what are you expecting the most, as we see these drivers start moving on this track? Do you expect them to get single file, or are you expecting them to keep running side by side as they are?
I expect the people that plan on making it to the end of the race to get single filed out and relax, especially if they want to make this a one-stop race, as these drivers can go about 48 laps on a lap. But, I want to tank of fuel here without draft, and we have 105 laps, but at the same time, I'm also going to be looking for tire wear and people not being able to handle the car going through the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. As we go ahead and take a quick look here at our weather for today, the temperature outside is 81 degrees with a wind at between 2 and 0 miles an hour, partly cloudy, humidity 69. And I imagine with our track, or with the normal temperature sitting at about 81 degrees, what is our track temperature sitting at? Because I actually don't have that information.
Track temp is 85 degrees.
So what does that tell you with the track temperature being 85? What are you anticipating seeing here?
Oh, there's a big crash in the back. Oh, holy. Someone glitched through the catch fence.
Dennis Kane glitched up on the fence. You can practically say he is out of here. Big issue for a couple of these drivers.
I didn't know we were playing baseball because that was a home run right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Dennis Kane involved in this one. Mikey Allen in that number 67 He's got a lot of damage here. It's scraping on the ground. Brett Bray also involved here. Let's go back, take a look, see what happened, because I'm very curious on how did he get up on the catch fence like that.
Oh my! He's in the safer barrier. He's stuck in the safer barrier. Wow.
So it looks they tried to go 3 wide back there, and the 67 got turned. And then he came flying back up the track. The Ford machine goes up on top of Mikey Allen, and then you see Dennis Kane right there. He is stuck in between the wall and the catch fence. Hopefully he is still alive in that machine, as it does appear that he did get pierced through the car. So that is a very interesting situation here for sure. Let's go ahead and come back here and watch it at full speed.
Man, you know, he might not be happy at the moment, but I did take a picture and posted it there and said, can't park there, just because it's funny.
Yeah, as you see, it's the driver's side up inside the catch, or that in between the wall and the safer barrier. So it's definitely very interesting for sure. I have never seen that before, and honestly, I hope I never do see that, because that is absolutely crazy what just happened.
But yeah, as for the wreck itself, it looked like the 67 thought he might have been clear, tried to come down and just kind of spun himself off the nose of the other driver, and just unfortunate, a lot of people know where to go there.
Yeah, definitely a lot of unfortunate situations there for a couple of those drivers. You know, that's something that these guys absolutely have to remember. You know, they may be in mini stocks, you know, that are going maybe topping at about 120-ish, but you know, at the end of the day, they're still racing a restrictor plate style race. So when they go 3 wide, they can do it because the cars are small enough on this track. But it's very, very similar now to the new Atlanta, you know, kind of style racing. So they do got to make sure that they leave enough room. And in that situation, as you guys saw, that
This is gonna sound weird. I would compare this more to like Nashville, where you're kind of like, you know, super speedway racing, but you do have to hit your corners pretty decent to maintain the momentum.
Yeah, you know what? I could see that.
But we are re-racked and stacked, and looks like the pace lights are off on the pace truck this time. So the 86 Kyle Hess going to be leading us back to the green, followed by Terry Fennell on the outside, that number 50 machine. And I got a feeling these two are going to put on a little bit of a show here for this first place. You don't typically get to see Mr. Hess leading us to the green, so this could be a good, you know, good moment for him.
Yeah, definitely a very good, you know, opportunity for Hess up here in that number 86 machine. You know, as you said, you know, you're keeping an eye on him. And as of right now, you know, he is showing that he is a dominant force here.
Yeah, a couple people did opt to come down pits a little early, probably just to top on fuel just so they can make it as far as possible. But we'll see how that plays out strategy-wise. I got a feeling we might have another caution or two. But we are back green this time. 86 with a wonderful jump on the inside. 50 didn't quite get the jump that he wanted, but he is clear to come down to the inside as they go into 1 and 2 this time. We got the 69 and the 55. That'd be True Toke and JC Fox battling it out for the 3rd place spot.
Yeah, definitely really good battle going on here, as I'm looking back here at Matt Metler having some sort of issue, and I don't think he's responded back on track just yet.
Yeah, I think Mr. Mailer might have got the good old boot to the pits.
Yeah, that's a very good possibility. Oh, I hear quite a few cars getting off the wall there in that last shot. But it looks like everybody's keeping it straight so far, as, you know, as we start moving back up towards the front of this field. Now, I'm trying to catch a really good view of this racing action without really like taking the spotlight away from others as well. Because a lot of the
Blim
cameras.
3 is working pretty good for me.
Well, I mean, with me being, broadcasting, I don't want them to look at that kind of a view.
Hey, I don't think the blim view's that bad. Oh man, man's always hating on me. You can't use that when you're producing. It don't look right. NASCAR wouldn't
It
use it. Well,
doesn't.
NASCAR has blimps. NASCAR used to have blimps.
Yeah, but they don't sit there and use it all race long.
I didn't say use it the entire race. And I did just get confirmation Matt Mettler's connections dropped due to upload packet loss. So he is probably going to be out of the race for now unless he decides to return. It looks like Dennis is in the pits as well after he got stuck on the wall early.
Yeah, he's probably getting checked out at from the track officials down in the infield care center. As we have a battle up here for our second spot. Kensley Smith is out on that outside with Terry Fennell in that 50 machine right behind him. So there's a strong battle here now for your race lead. So these 6 drivers here running side by side.
Yeah, and the top 12 have kind of pulled away from the field a little bit here or there. But it looks like that 2 of Mike Fudge in that number 13 spot is starting to reel them back in, being followed by a couple other cars behind them.
Yeah, the top 12. Man. The top 12 are hanging pretty much side by side the whole way through. These guys are running at 147 miles an hour. So they're going pretty fast, for these little mini stocks. As the 90 gets up into the wall, causes a little bit of a stack up behind them, but everybody is able to keep it nice and straight. So that's going to bring the rest of the field that little separation that they had. Now they are all back together in one big pack.
Yeah, while you're watching that, I'm going to keep a check on this.
Big movement out. Somebody back here in the back. One car way on the inside. They're running 4 wide right behind them. You guys, this is not going to work. Heading down into turn number 3 as one is sideways. The 87, I believe it is. The 57, I'm sorry, of Aaron Roth, he got completely turned.
There's a lot of action going on at the moment. I'm not quite sure what happened between those two, but it kind of looked like both of them were trying to use the same real estate there for a moment.
My dude, they were running 4 wide heading down into the corner. But that was the big one that never happened. So really good driving for these drivers here in the Racers Elite, right here on the Racers Elite Network. Hell
of a job saving that, as even after that first part of it, more people got up in the wall and everybody was able to dodge it. It's crazy.
Yeah, as you guys see here, your top 10, 11, maybe 12 cars once again broke. Top 11 broke away here. Matt Miller has joined back out onto the racetrack, so Matt Miller is coming back out. And we are working lap number 15. And still, this front pack still running side by side the whole way through.
69 came up just a little close to the, I believe that was the 50 of Terry there. Thought they were going to make a little bit of contact, but they kept it off of each other pretty well there.
Yeah, Jesse Fox out of Jasper, Indiana, currently running in that 4th spot, 3rd spot, 4th spot, 3rd spot, something like that. As they keep passing each other here.
Do I even need to say anything about who's already made their way towards the front?
No.
Yeah, we're just gonna, taking over the lead, Kensley Smith, as usual. It doesn't matter what kind of super speedway it is, what car it's in, the dude's always able to find his way towards the front of the field. Don't know what he does. Don't know if he's got some extra, strength gasoline in the car, a shot of nitrous, but he's able to make it get up there every time. Never fails.
Yeah, he always brings out his inner Dale Earnhardt Sr. here at these super speedways. So I don't know what it is. I'm kind of the same way. I'm really good at super speedway racing. I know where I should, make the moves, don't make the moves, when I should hang back, when I can go ahead and move up. I always bring out my inner Dale Earnhardt. And right here in this series, the one that does it the most is absolutely Kensley Smith.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat here. We got a Let's Go Round Warp. We got a blown motor before the race even starts and not able to use my fast repair, so I'm stuck in the pits for 30 minutes by Corey Crowell.
Oh, no. Yeah, Corey Crowell in that number 20 machine. Not sure how he blew his motor on the start, but that's definitely definitely not the way he wanted this race to go, as this race could very well be a little bit more than halfway over before he can exit the pits. So definitely a very big heartbreak moment there for Corey Crowell.
But this front 11, 12, or 10 or 11 cars here are doing such a wonderful job, giving each other room. You can start to see where I was talking about earlier about you got to enter these corners just right or you're going to slide up the track, as a lot of these drivers seem to be kind of a little squirrely in the middle of the corners here. But we'll watch it now, and it looks like Terry Fennell is attacking the outside of the 15 here, getting a really good push by that 89 of Rich Joplin.
Yep, as they come across the line, Terry Fennell will lead that lap. And he has cleared Kensley Smith, but that push from Hess right behind Smith, that's going to allow Smith to come back up alongside Fennell and try to retake that top spot.
Yeah, but Fennell getting such a really good run on that outside. Hasn't even started to get pushed yet as they're going into 3 and 4, and they're still side by side. But it looks like Kensley Smith's going to get the edge as they're coming out of 4 this time.
I also want to point out, we currently have 3 different packs of racing going on.
Yeah, that is a very valid point here. That's about the top 10 to pulled away from everybody else, top 11 here. We go back here to 12th. We got Aaron Roth leading this group, but battling with, I believe, the 45 of Ryan Warp. And then we'll go even further back, and this next pack will be led by Brandon Puffenbarger in that number 5 machine in that 19th spot. But, we got a big wreck. It looks like everybody in that 3rd pack was able to avoid it there. And
not exactly sure what happened, but it looked like it was number 45 of Ryan Warp.
Yeah, it looks like the car above them came down just a hair. They just made it might have been a little bit of netcode, and they all got into each other, and unfortunately the one car got spun around, but nobody hit him. He didn't hit the wall, so just very lucky situation for a couple of those drivers there.
Man, that 3rd pack did an absolute phenomenal job at missing Aaron Roth there, so it doesn't seem like there is too much damage upon those vehicles, so they're going to be able to come down.
Yeah, it definitely could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, so they're definitely going to come down and get what they need to get repaired on those machines, and then bring it back out, so. But we are working only our 2nd caution now, as these drivers get ready to decide, are they going to come down pit road, they're going to stay out.
And just another update on chat here, we got a Team Joe Bonner, and we also got to accidentally hit the shifter down in the 1st gear, and the motor went bye-bye.
Ugh.
Listen, bud, you ain't a professional racer if you ain't money shifted at least once in your life. I remember that last time I took my Lancer to the drag strip, and I tried to do the 2nd to 3rd shift, and I put it back in 1st, and luckily it didn't blow anything or mess anything up, but it's just a scary feeling.
Yeah, definitely. As we see all these drivers coming down pit road, it looks like they are getting tires and everything at the moment. Kensley Smith now pulling away from his pit stop.
Yeah, we had 2 drivers stay out. I believe Rob Yost and Aaron Roth stayed out.
Yeah, so they looks like they pitted back on that lap 5 caution. So they're very confident in staying out at the moment. So it's definitely going to be very interesting to see what these rest of these drivers are going to do. As we take a look here at Rob Yost in that number 83 Toyota machine. And then right behind him, you got Aaron Roth in that number 57. And then Kensley Smith and everybody else that just came down pit road. So everybody else, they can go about 17 more laps than your front two. I can't imagine that the tires are going to be making that big of a difference. So it's going to be definitely very interesting to see how the top two here will be able to play themselves out.
I mean, I feel like the tires are gonna maybe not as bad, but kind of be like the 87s. You know, the longer you get on a run, it's gonna be a little harder for you because you're going to have to let off more for the corner to make it. But I could be wrong. I didn't get enough laps in to be able to be 100% clear on that.
Well, you know what? You're fired.
Oh no, how will I ever financially recover?
Ain't my problem. No, I'm kidding. Steve Vest, he in his number 06 machine, he's finally come back out on pit road. So he's going to catch up to the back end of the field here. Dennis Kane in that number 4 machine, he is back out on the racetrack, only sitting one lap down at the moment. Matt Metler, I'm not showing him out on track at the moment. But we're getting ready to go back green flag racing. Rob Yost, Aaron Roth will bring the field to the green flag into the restart zone. And we are green flag racing. A big stack up back there in the back as one driver, he pulls off just a little bit. That looks like that's Timothy Eisburn going off track back there in the back. But Rob Yost, he will pull out. He will go ahead and pull out in front of Kensley Smith. And everybody else just going to play a single foul at the moment. Except for, I believe that's going to be that 57 of Aaron Roth and Troy Thomas up there in that number 88-3 machine. So, only two drivers right now wanting to risk it on the outside while everybody else is pretty much single file right around them. And then they start stacking up double wide back right about that 12th, 13th spot as these two drivers still feel that they could possibly make a good run here on the back straightaway around the outside. And sure enough, here they come now to the outside of your race leader. Aaron Roth in that number 57 is looking to take over that race lead as they get more help behind them from that number 28 machine of Barry Nelson. So now we got three drivers on top of three drivers. Now they're going to come to the start-finish line side by side. Big wobble out of Yost as he was getting a big push from Kensley Smith, and that's going to hurt that momentum on the inside. But here they come back shooting strong on the inside now, as Roth is unable to do anything here with Yost at the moment as they continue to go side by side, and they have four cars up top while everybody else single file down below.
Now, I won't quite say they got four cars up there, but you do see that 32 machine making his way really quickly on that outside line to get to the back of the third. And just like that, in one corner, he's right up on him.
Yeah, I talked with Blair Holloman I think it was Wednesday night, and he's just absolutely strong in most of the stuff that he drives. So seeing him slowly start to make his way back towards the front of this field is not surprising whatsoever. So it's going to be very interesting to see if he could do anything in his number 32 mini stock machine. As we continue to have a battle up here for your race lead. Yost still has it. Roth wants it, as Roth is now beside Kensley Smith as they come to the start-finish line. Looks like Roth might have had second there at the start-finish line. and now he comes to attack once again on your race leader, but without that good help behind him, it's going to be very difficult for Roth to even get along beside him. So uh uh who's that up there? Troy Thomas. He's really going to have to do something to try to figure out how to stay right there on the back bumper of Roth. As you see, that separation between the two just keeps getting bigger in the corners, whereas with Yost and Smith, they are pretty much nose to tail, with not much of a gap, and that's what's allowing Yost to stay out front.
Yeah, but that outside lane is doing. I mean, the 57 there's doing a wonderful job on that outside lane to just maintain momentum to stay up there with them too, especially not having someone on his bumper. As you see him, get so much momentum coming down the front stretch there, he was able to almost pass the 89 of or 83 of Rob.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got the speed up there. He's just, I mean, I really don't want to say it, but right now, Troy's not being too much help for him, as a pusher. So I think that's what's currently holding Roth back from making any sort of, advantage on that race leader.
Oh, Kansas
As
Smith
they
goes
go
to the inside of the
3 wide. 3 wide now for that second spot. That's going to give the race lead over to Roth. But here comes the number 15 now of Kensley Smith, as he's got...
Oh, they're still checking up back here. They're still checking up bad.
4 wide. Saved it. And Troy Thompson, that number 3 machine, goes all the way back with Blair Holloman, who is now sitting 22nd, 23rd now, as we're going to jump back up here to our race leader with Roth still holding very strong to that outside lane all by himself, not really losing any time yet on Kensley Smith. So the fact that he's... gotta be careful, Richie.
Yeah, you want to talk about having no help? He really has no help now, so he's really going to have to make a game plan here. As the hole does open up behind him for him to drop down, if he's quick to do so, but he opts not to. Still fighting back on that outside line.
Yeah, he's trying to use that side draft, but as you can see, using the side draft in these cars are... Oh, he's turned him! Hold on to it!
Hess, Roth.
Oh, yep. Kyle Hess is involved in this one. JB Harrison, he's involved as well. Mike Fudge, he is involved in this one here as well. Oh, man. So, Aaron Roth, Kyle Hess, JB Harrison involved as well. It looked like, from our point of view, that Yoth was going to make a move to get behind Kyle Hess, and unfortunately it was not open for him to do so. So let's go ahead and come back here and take a look. So as you guys can see, just coming down here into turn 1, I'm assuming he thought he was clear, and that just pretty much turned Hess up into the outside wall. And then the 83 got into the back end of that 57, which turns the 57 hard into that outside wall.
And I will say I did hear over the radio there was an apology, and it was saying that he thought he was clear, basically. Misjudged it.
Yeah, that's what I thought happened. As you see here, Mike Fudge and that number 90 of JB Harrison getting involved here as well. Luckily, only 4 or 5 cars were involved in this one. So let's go ahead and let's have fun. Let's go back and... Oh, here we go. Let's come back here, and we're going to ride on board here with Kyle Hess and that number 86 machine, as he was just in there minding his own business, and next thing you know, he's getting turned to that outside wall. And then more heavy contact right there. Let's come back here with... There he is. As we run on board now here with Aaron Roth. You can hear him actually lift to make sure he did get, around him. But unfortunately, the lift just wasn't enough. So he definitely tried to lift to get behind him, but he just turned down a little bit too early there. So definitely very unfortunate there for Aaron Roth and Kyle Hess, along with the other ones that were involved, JB Harrison, Mike Fudge. As you see, Rabios Jr. in that number 83 Toyota machine, he's going to make his way back out onto the racetrack. But as of right now, out front, it's going to be Jesse Fox in that number 69 machine. He's going to be joined by Terry Fennell in that number 50 machine. So these drivers are doing one heck of a job out front here. Keeping their nose clean, but, looking at Barry Nelson in that number 28 Levi Garrett machine. He's out there on the outside in the 4th spot. And he'll be joined by Joe Bonner in that number 53 machine, which is making a 40 number on it. A good throwback to like a Sterling Marlin kind of paint scheme.
I will say that Dennis Kane was able to overcome being stuck in the safer barrier there, and is back on the lead lap, I believe.
Yeah, Dennis Kane, he's back here. Currently in that 25th spot into that number 4 car. So, I mean, you know the saying, race ain't over until the checkered flag falls? Well, we're seeing that right here as Dennis Kane, he was able to get the wave around this last time by
Pace truck's pulling off. A really even start by both drivers here, as the inside and outside is going to be side by side going into turn 1 and 2 this time. Jesse Fox in that 69 has no one behind him to give him a push as they come out the corner here. So it is going to give the advantage to the 50, but you do see the 28 of Barry Nelson working his way up towards the rear of him.
I do apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen. My dog unplugged my mouse, so I wasn't able to get back up to the front for the start here. But we're back up front now here. I'm watching this battle here for that 3rd spot currently between Terry Fennell and Truth Hope in that number 55 machine. Just look at that outside, be able to hang strong, just with those 2 cars. So that outside lane, I guess, it's not a bad choice here, as we have 1 car go down below that double yellow-blue line down there. There is no out of bounds here at Charlotte, but a good rule of thumb is treat it like it is Daytona or Talladega. You get stuck down there, nobody's going to move over to let you back on track.
Yeah, that is a fair point.
As we have a really good battle up here out front. I'm absolutely enjoying this race here at Charlotte in these cars. Out of all the racetracks, on this schedule, this one is the one that I had circled. This is the one I was most excited for. Because it's not every day we get to watch these little cars run in a big pack like this, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that is a good point. And I also noticed it's starting to get a little dark and the lights are coming on, so I'm wondering if this is going to change up some of the racing a little bit. I'm kind of curious, to make these drivers get a little looser or have more grip so they're going to be able to push harder.
Yeah, that's definitely very interesting. I know that earlier our temperature was 81 degrees. Right now it is 79 degrees, so we did go down just 2 degrees since we went green flag racing. So the temperature is starting to go down, so that's going to give these cars a little bit more grip in these corners. So hopefully with these cars slipping up the track on entry, hopefully that's going to help tighten up the cars just a little bit instead of watching these cars get a little bit loose heading down into the corners.
And hello to you, Miller. Reading the chat, we got a hello, so I figured I'd say hello back.
Yeah, hello. Everybody in chat that is currently watching, thank you guys so much for joining us on this beautiful Friday evening. So watching some really awesome mini stock racing right here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I mean, we've only had about 3 cautions in 42 laps, and that's a very long time, you know, for these mini stock cars. You know, we're not used to seeing these cars go past, what, 20 laps here? And these guys are going to be running about 105 laps here, which equates to just about 157 miles. So it's definitely a very long time for these cars, something that we're not used to. And so far, as always, these guys are putting one hell of a show here at Charlotte.
Yeah, they're doing a wonderful job, especially right now. Almost the whole field side by side. As it looked like we were about to have a 3-wide moment there for a minute as the 40 did slide up the track, but able to get it back down to that bottom side there. But that is going to get the advantage to the outside this time, as they were able to push a little harder into the corner. But is Fino going to be able to get the drive off that he needs?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get a good look here at the entire field, you know, as we are riding now with our speed zone blimp, you know, as we just cycle through here all the way to the back, as we do have one car up in the wall. That's going to be that number 711 of Trevor Fetzig. You know, so he's going to be all up there, and Aaron Roth, he's going to be falling back. But everybody else, they're running like they're running you know, 150 mile an hour pace lap pretty much at this point in time. As you see that number 15 machine try to sneak it in, go 3 wide. As he will sneak it in 3 wide. He does not have it clear, but he's now going to ride right behind that number 57 machine. Or that 60. Wait. Oh. Yeah, there he is. I was looking at the wrong car in our standings. As you see Kensley Smith once again going 3 wide. Let's go ahead and bring it back down here on track as we take a look here at that number 5 of Brandon Puffenbarger. You know, he's keeping out his own on that outside in the middle, but now he's going to get himself double wide here once again, as Hess looks like in that number 86. He's looking to try to go 3 wide, not able to make anything happen. But our battle up here for the race lead between Jesse Fox, Terry Fennell. These two are still trying to duke it out for that race lead, and that very hard push from Joe Bonner in that number 5340 Coors Light machine. He is absolutely doing a phenomenal job at keeping Jesse Fox out front of this field. Still really good side-by-side racing down the back straightaway here at Charlotte. As you see Terry Fennell, he was able to almost clear that inside lane, but Jesse Fox gets a really good push from Bonner, and he's going to retain the race lead as they come to the start-finish line. A little bit sideways there for Jesse Fox going into the first kink of the front straightaway, and that's going to allow that 50 machine to get more alongside, as he's getting one heck of a push from that number 28 of Barry Nelson. So these guys just absolutely doing a fantastic job here at Charlotte. And man, let me tell you what, this race is starting to get me very antsy here as these drivers continue to run side by side.
Yeah, we've been seeing a couple people make it 3 wide and be able to make it work here, but how much longer are they going to be able to continue to do so, as they are starting to get, you know, a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Antsy, I guess, on the track, and they're kind of all over the place at the moment.
Yeah, as we ride on board here with Andrew Tefton, that number 98 machine, he's just about that third car on the outside as he's get a big run up to the back bumper of that number 28 machine. So that just proves, you know, how much speed in the draft you can get with these race cars. Whoa, big movement out of that number 98 machine. Got real sideways out of that kink on the front straightaway, as they are now side by side back behind them 3 wide. You could really fit like 4 or 5 wide here, you know, before you get to the corners. So,
okay.
who you looking at?
There was almost an issue. I was watching the 5, the 92, and the 90. They were 3 wide, and they almost came down and hit each other, but the 90 backed out of it, and now they're back to 2 wide. I didn't have enough time to say anything. It just happened so fast.
Yeah, definitely. Everything happens so fast here at Charlotte with these race cars. As we up here in the front are going 3 wide. What kind of craziness is this? 3 wide. I believe it's going to be Richie Joplin, Barry Nelson, and I think Stidham back here. Yeah, it's those drivers right there, 4th, 5th, and 6th. So it's actually Hoke, Joplin, and Nelson running 3 wide, as they will get themselves sorted out on the exit turn number 4. And now out front, still on the high side, it is going to be Terry Fennell. Jesse Fox has he has cleared Fennell for the time being. Same with Bonner, but that outside lane is just still so strong, able to work their way back alongside of him down here on the back straightaway.
And it's starting to look like a couple of these drivers are getting a little loose as the 50 earlier. I don't know exactly what happened to him, but he caused the big check up there, and that sent the people behind him 3 wide.
Yeah, that outside lane is definitely dissipating. A big separation there between that number 42 machine of Stidham and all the way back to Kensley Smith. So there's definitely that big separation. But here they come on, fighting back to the outside. Kensley Smith has got a lot of help from Kyle Hess in that number 86 machine. So with those two teaming up, that's going to bring that high line back all together here. And that just doesn't surprise me there to see Kensley Smith and Kyle Hess find each other, as they know, how each other races very strong together on these restrictor plate races. So seeing those two start to team up does not surprise me, as you see Kensley Smith look into. No, he's not looking. He's going to go 3 wide now.
Yeah, keep an eye on that 28 car as well up there behind the 50 on the outside. He is getting very loose and all over the place in these corners.
Kyle Hess, he's going to follow Kensley Smith in that 3 wide situation. Stidham, he did end up making contact with the walls. That allowed Smith to quickly get around him, and Hess was able to go ahead and pull up alongside of him. He'll make the pass heading here into turn number 3 as we come back up here to our battle for the race lead. What's your thoughts so far of Terry Fennell in that 50, keeping it hanging strong on that outside?
I don't know what kind of voodoo magic he's got in that thing, but it doesn't matter if he has help or not. He's been able to keep up there with the leaders almost the entire time. I don't know what he's doing, but it's working, so he just needs to keep doing it.
Yeah, I just want to make a quick note. Mike Fudge in that number 2 machine is the one that went into the grass on the front straightaway. But he was able just to Dale Earnhardt to come back and contact up front. The 2 race leaders are leaning on each other. No harm, no foul. Oh, we have one spinning down into the pits. That's going to be Richie Joplin, and he is backwards on the pits. And unfortunately, this will not bring out a yellow flag as we come back up here to the front. That was very unfortunate there. Let's come back here and take a look and see what happened.
One car definitely channeled his inner Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, let's come back here. And first off, let's take a look here at Terry Fennell and Jesse Fox up front here. Jesse Fox got extremely sideways. And then while they were all trying to get all that sorted out, Richie Joplin, he got turned into the pit road, hit that out inside wall, and he was able to get it turned back around, and he's back out on the racetrack. Not quite yet, I don't think, a lap down just yet. Yeah, he's still not lapped down, but he's got help with Aaron Roth in that number 57. So, once those two get teamed up, they'll be able to hopefully start making ground once again on this front pack. Or at this point, they're going to be praying for a quick caution. But so far, Jesse Fox, Joe Bonner still lead that inside lane. And here comes Terry Fennell and Barry Nelson back shooting to the outside. And right behind them, you've got Kensley Smith in that number 15.
Yeah, and I got a feel we're going to have a caution before too long. I mean, I'm watching some of these drivers, and they are getting squirrely, might I say. They're doing a hell of a job keeping it straight, but it's starting to worry me a little bit up here, especially near the front.
Yeah, definitely. These drivers are definitely now giving it all they've got, as we have just under 50 laps to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. That 50 machine of Fennel getting up into the wall here on the in the trioval. That slowed down that top lane just a little bit, but it's not going to take them very long to get back up to speed here and start attacking to the outside, as he's still working on the ends or the outside there of that number 40 or 53 of Joe Bonner. So here he comes now. Now he's getting it back up side by side with your race leader of Jesse Fox. Oh, big contact back here. The 45 of Ryan Warp, he is around on the back straightaway, and that is going to bring out our fourth caution of the evening, as he will go ahead and get himself moving here once again. Let's go back here, take a look, see what happened to bring out this caution. All right, so we have that 45 Ryan Warp on the inside. Onto his outside is that number 38 machine of Jack Kelly. And coming out of turn number 4 into the trioval, Kelly, he decided that he was going to try to side draft, but I think a little bit of netcode played in favor there. And unfortunately, that drove both drivers hard into that outside wall. Everybody was going to make it except that 17 of Brett Bray. He came up and got into the side of that number 4 machine, so he's going to go for a wild ride through the trioval. So definitely very unfortunate here for these drivers up front. As we take a look at it now, full speed. Oh, hard impact.
Well, so theoretically, these drivers should be able to make it from here on fuel.
Yeah, they should be able to make it on fuel yet now, yeah. So the question is who's going to come in, who's going to stay out, as these drivers are going to go ahead and circle around here and get onto pit road. As we take a ride here with our drone, as these drivers are coming down into the pits. Take a look here at the 38 of Jack Kelly. Missed his pit stall, so he had to come back and he had to fix his car. As you all saw right there, that number 40 of Joe Bonner. Richie Joplin finally coming down here to get into his pit stall. And now we lost everybody. There we go. Let's take a look here at our cam view. As we start having a lot of cars start leaving the pits now, as they're looking 5 wide coming out of the pits. Luckily there is still ghost cars coming out of the pits, or else that would have been a big old mess.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to shake a few things up there.
Yeah, I just want to point out that number 20 machine of Corey Crowell, he has come back out on pits, come out of the pits. He's now gone about 22 laps. He's now working lap number 23 of his race. So Corey, he never gave up, and he is back out here on track now.
Never back down, ever what?
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make up any spots, but it just shows, the kind of racer that Corey Crowell is. if he signs up for a race, has an incident, he could have called it quits, when we went green flag 60 laps ago, but instead he decided he's going to stay out here and keep racing because, well, why not? It's Charlotte in the mini stocks.
I will say there is still a possibility, one of these guys decide to use their faster power already gets put into the safer barrier again or something, and um, he gains the spots there. As we still have a good about 40 laps to go.
Yeah, I think we're saying at just about 44 laps to go at this point. But I mean, so far it's been an absolute phenomenal race. I'm absolutely enjoying myself up here. Definitely with you up here in the booth, that's for sure. But man, let me tell you what, we're getting ready to go back green flag to do it all over again.
Yeah, I'm a little off my game today. I feel like I have a slip in a week for some reason. I don't know what's going on. But it looks like the 86 is going to be taking us back to the restart zone those times. Going to have the 15 and Kinsley Smith on his outside. It's getting a really good jump here on that inside lane and is able to get out to a commanding lead. But it isn't going to matter as the draft is going to suck everyone right back up to him.
Yeah, absolutely. As these drivers head up here into turn number one, once again, right now, Kyle Hess out to that very far long lead. Joshua Neal in that number 82 machine, he's found his way up into the top two, but hanging strong still to his outside is going to be Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine, as they are going to start doing their 150 mile per hour pace laps as they start to get themselves figured out here on the exit of turn number 4. That 82 machine, he is looking, possibly he's looking to go 3 wide on Hess there, but he decided better of it, slipped up a little bit, and that opened up the door for Eisburn. Whoa, Eisburn, he is up there in that 5th spot in that number 92. He has moved up 20 spots since we went green flag racing today.
And man, that outside lane is just so strong. I mean, Kingsley Smith has nobody pushing him. He's just able to contend for the lead here. I mean, if this is the last lap, Kingsley Smith could possibly be winning the race with no help, basically, right now.
Yeah, but that time, Hess, he did pass it. Oh, now we are trying to go, once again, 3 wide. Hess has got to be careful and not leave that inside lane open, because it seems like right now, Joshua Neal, he's looking to take over that race lead, and if he's not careful, he's going to get himself into a lot of trouble with the top 2 here. Big contact there from Joe Bonner in that number 40 Coors Light machine, as he's going to go ahead and go 3 wide. And JB Harrison gets up into that outside wall. He's going to let those guys go by. He's going to stay right up against the wall as they come back here down into turn number 1. Harrison back up into the outside wall as your 4 race leaders are still running side by side with Eisburn, waiting patiently to attack at the right time. Look at those mini stocks bump draft out there as they continue to run side by side for that race lead. If this was the final lap, it could very well be Kensley Smith getting the race win because of that fantastic push by Bonner on that outside lane. So definitely it's still anybody's race coming out of turn number 4. So these guys don't want to give up just yet as we are working lap number 67. And that 40 machine, he's
6-7.
Oh, shut up. I set myself up for that. Dang it. Oh, man.
I had to. Sorry, I had to one time.
I know you did. I didn't even think about it. I'm too focused on calling this race on like you.
Hey,
I'm joking.
I'm focused on the action. It's hard to, you're just getting that flow zone, and I don't want to interrupt you sometimes.
Oh, that might have been a little bit of contact there between the 15 and 86, but that looked like more like net code out there. Whoa, big wobble out of the 2 on the bottom.
Hey, bud, you know what's better than 6-7? Do you know what's better than 6-7?
This race on the racetrack right now.
That is true. But 6'9". Ah, got him. All right, I'm back to the racing action. Kenzie Smith taking over the lead here, almost able to clear
Oh,
Kyle Hess as they're going into 1 and 2. We got the 90
contact
and the
the
28 up in
50.
the wall.
Yeah, 50, the 98, 3 wide. That was like 4 wrecks that just happened right there on the, or in the middle of 1 and 2 and on the exit of 2. That was like 4 crashes that just happened that didn't happen. And once again, that's a testament to the way these race car drivers race out here in the Racers Elite. You know, they race hard, but they can also learn how to keep control of their race cars. And that's something I absolutely love about this group. As Kensley Smith, he's got that inside lane cleared, and Kensley Smith, he will take over the race lead. And now Joe Bonner, he is now in control of that outside lane, but with only 1 car helping him up there, and I believe that's going to be the number 82 of Josh. Is that Joshua? No, that is going to be the 55 of Truth Hoke on that outside. Truth Hoke in a different paint scheme than what I am used to. He's sporting a red and gold car instead of his normal blue. So definitely good to see Truth Hope having some good luck in that red and gold Coca-Cola machine, as he is now pushing Bonner towards the race lead as they continue to march through turns 1 and 2 here, back down to this back straightaway. And still very good side-by-side racing, holding strong to those 2 cars on the outside.
Yeah, and this top 5, you know, collective altogether have been able to work their way from the back of the field to the front of the field. They've been put back in the back of the field, worked their way back towards the front. So, I mean, this is going to be the class of the field, these top 5 up here. They've just been doing a wonderful job today.
Yeah, absolutely. All these drivers out here today have done a fantastic job. You know, as we've seen, I think we've seen about 10 cautions, but only 4 actual cautions. So, I mean, it's just, what an amazing race all around, and look at these guys still duking it out.
Really good saves out of these drivers. I mean, they might need a couple extra changes, it depends afterwards, but they've been doing such a hell of a job to keep the actual caution from coming out, just checking up and watching out for everybody, giving decent amount of room.
Yeah, for sure. As we have a couple new drivers making their way up front. Richie Joplin, last time we saw him, he was got turned sideways down into the pits facing backwards. But he's up here making noise up here in your top 5, top 6 at the moment. So, you know, it just proves that if you don't give up, you know, you still got a chance to win this race. And, you know, Joplin, he's definitely one of those drivers that's looking to bring home the win tonight. As we are starting lap number 73 now. Still doing just about 150 mile an hour pace lap here. As we take a look, 140 through the corners out of turn 2. All the way to 150. Oh, just shy of 150. He probably had to lift. But yeah, these guys are going just about 150 here on the straights. So, I mean, it's not easy in the mini stocks here, even though, you know, we do say that they are mini stocks. There ain't nothing, you know, easy about getting these machines around a track like this.
Yeah, even you're calling them pace laps, but some of these drivers are probably out there fighting for their lives right now. As I have seen them get relatively loose on a longer run here.
Yeah, definitely these cars are getting looser as it goes. But right now, your front 2 still running side by side. Kensley Smith, Chris Bonner.
Yeah, and there's something about a nighttime race, man. Just always makes the cars look so much better as you can see the lights reflecting off of them. So far, what's your overall thoughts of the race, man? I mean, it's been some really good action. What's been your favorite moment so far?
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think I have seen my favorite moment. I think our favorite moment's going to come on that final lap, and that's when crap is really going to hit the roof with these drivers. But let me tell you what, so far this whole entire race, has been my favorite so far. And honestly, looking back at the first 3 races of the season, So far, I think this is my favorite one so far.
Fair enough. But everyone's got caught back up to the leaders for the most part. That outside line's starting to form back up, and we're starting to see some good side-by-side racing here. But Kinsley Smith is just doing Kinsley Smith things as he's able to make that inside line work better than I've seen anyone else do it tonight. As I do hear a little bit of contact with the wall towards the back of the field here.
Yeah, it looks like we now do have a separation between the front pack and the second pack. Starting with Rob Yost in that number 83, and then if you fall back a little bit more, you got Dennis Kane and Mike Fudge leading this third mini pack back here.
Yeah, Jonathan and Mike up here battling really hard for about this 20th spot.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I was talking with Dennis Kane early or last week, I think it was. And, you know, he's just glad to be out here racing with these guys. And, you know, we have a big event coming up. And so we're really excited to get that going. You know, we got a big uphill climb event coming. And, I mean, ultimately, you know, thanks to Dennis Kane, we're making it happen. And I think it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, I look forward to that one. That's going to be a very interesting. We're going to have to use some tools we normally don't, you know, use, and it's going to make for either a really great broadcast or a few issues and still a good broadcast.
You know, I've already come to terms, as everybody found out earlier. You know, it's not a Mike Taylor broadcast if I don't have some sort of technical difficulties, but I really do hope, you know, that day next month. I think it's the 16th or something like that. You know, it's gonna
need all the stars to align and everything to go perfect.
Absolutely. You know, I'm stepping away from, you know, actually doing camera work, unless if I can find one other cameraman. You know, you're going to be up there with me for that event, and, you know, I'm going to do my best to make that production look absolutely amazing. Probably the best production I'm going to have to put on, you know, of my early career as a broadcaster, as we continue to see some good side-by-side racing up front here for that race lead. Well, I mean, I guess technically this is for the top 16?
Yeah, and I mean, it is getting crunch time. We only have 25 to go, getting ready to cross the line for 24 to go this time. So these drivers are really going to start thinking about making some moves and, you know, working their way up through the field here.
Yeah, one driver that still hasn't really made much noise, you know, that I thought that he normally would here at restrictor plate tracks, and that's that number 98 of Andrew Teft, who's currently sitting back in that number 12th position on the outside. He's that white car on the outside there. You know, so I'm very surprised to see him still, you know, back in the back this late into the race, but you know, it's going to be very hard to get around these cars when they're still running side by side the way they are, with Joe Bonner now trying to work that outside lane, hoping to see if he can possibly take home the win tonight.
Hey, I don't call Andrew Teft the silent assassin for any, you know, I call him that for a reason, as he will probably end up working his way up towards the front here in the end of this race, and we probably won't even see it until he's up there.
Yeah, definitely. As I'm now going to keep my one Bubba J eye on that number 98 machine as they come down the back straightaway. A lot of movement back there. And as of right now, you know, that 55 Truth Oak, he's doing a good job at keeping the 40 up front now on that outside lane. And, you know, as we say that, you know, Andrew Teft, he's now up one spot. He's still hanging out, but right there behind that number 50 machine, he's got a nice big opening for him. So he's going to quickly draw right behind Fennell there, and he's going to start making some moves as he moves into the top 10.
Yeah, I'm about to start calling him Joe Hendry, because it's like every time we say his name, he just appears, man. He starts making places up and everything.
Oh, yeah.
That one was good.
That was good, yeah. I'll give you that one. Yeah, as that middle lane's that lower lane, they kind of got themselves a little bit separated here, so I think that's going to give a little bit more momentum to that outside lane, unless if that lower lane gets much better there, which they do. But Timothy Eisburn, he's not helping keeping that low lane together, and that's going to allow that number 40, aka 53 of Bonner, start to make a good move here on the outside for the race lead. So if that inside lane doesn't get into better formation, Bonner, he's going to be able to take over that top spot from Kensley Smith.
Yeah, but Kinsley's been doing a really good job on that inside, even when he hasn't had the best push. So, I mean, I'm kind of curious if he might be trying to save a little bit or give false hope here, as it would be called. But I know Kinsley's probably out there giving it 100% at the moment. That Ford is just doing a really good job on that outside lane.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that Kensley does, especially once he gets out front. He does everything he can, to help his entire line. And we have trouble in the back. One car up in the air.
Someone just died.
That would
Call
be
the ambulance.
JB Harrison. Slow down. Go! Contact. Jack Kelly down into the grass. Oh man, big more contact back here.
Oh, look. I just went back and watched it. It looked like the 90 just got glued to the wall and all of a sudden it kicked him off. But I know you're going to go over it in the replay. But what in the... did I just see? Hold on a minute.
Let's go ahead and we're going to watch this full speed as he gets up into that outside wall. And then boom, down into Walker's. That was hard hit.
So I just want to take a moment. Have you got to the second part of the wreck yet?
Yep, they're coming into the picture now, and
okay,
yeah.
So JB Harrison, if you are wrecked and you have cars coming, just stay stopped. Don't pull down in front of them. That is very uncalled for, and that could have been very avoided there.
Now I'm coming back here to watch that again. As the 90 machine, he finally gets off the wall, gets into that number 20 machine of Corey Crowell, and he comes to a stop. To be fair in this situation, those guys back there, they could have also let up off the gas too.
Oh no, 100%. They should have been slowing down, but at the same time, like if he hadn't have drove forward and moved down the track, he wouldn't have got hit there. And I only said that more for him, not the other guys. The other guys thought he hit him because he didn't slow down.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
I don't want nobody to take offense to what I'm saying. I'm just being honest. Like he should have just stayed there. I mean, but it happens. I get it. I've done that in road course racing many a times. I'll get spin out and I'll be like, oh, I think I'm good to, move down. I'll pull right in front of somebody. It does happen.
Yeah, but I mean, I was looking at it. He didn't really move that far right. So it's like he started pulling away, started turning down just a little bit, saw people coming. He hit the brake, but those cars were still coming at almost out of like a full head of steam and still run side by side, just clobbered right into him. So
yeah, they were almost 3 wide as they were coming up on the crash, which is also uncalled for and does not need to be happening. But you live and learn. This is part of racing. But we have 18 getting ready to come to 17 laps to go, and I got a feeling it is about to heat up.
Oh yeah, for sure. If I was down there, I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna try to get some tires.
Oh yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind to go ahead and get a fresh set of tires if I could, but it really depends on how these cars are handling.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, nobody's coming down pit road.
Maybe they don't want to get... I mean, the track position is very important here too, as it has been kind of hard to get through the field for some drivers. So
the ones that came down pit road this last time under this caution, it's going to be Joshua Neal, Trevor Fetzig, Mike Fudge, Steve Vest, Rob Yost, Blair Holloman, Aaron Roth, he's still down on pit road. JB Harrison, he's still down on pit road, I believe. Corey Crowell, he's still got he's still working on damage on his car now. So, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see what those guys back there in that 20th spot or so can do, because it's now crunch time. We've got under 20 laps to go, and I think these guys are going to start to give it all they got.
Yeah, going to give her all the beans, put the pedal to the metal, and be all over each other. So it's going to be a good chance here. We're going to see another big one, but hopefully these drivers are able to get 17 hard laps in here because that would make for some very interesting racing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As we get ready to get this pace truck back off the race surface so that we can go back green flag racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Pace truck is off. Kesley Smith, Joe Bonner will bring the field back to the green flag into the Echo Park restart zone. And we are green flag racing once again here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Kesley Smith gets out to a really good lead there. But Bonner now fighting hard on the outside of Kyle Hess. Not able to do anything with it. Hess will get him cleared. And now your top two are 100% clear of the rest of the field. And so is your top three. That outside lane is absolutely falling apart. And they are not able to do anything. The 40 machine trying to make his own hole and forcing Timothy Eisburn down below the double white line. Not able to do anything with it there. So Eisburn, he's going to hold on to that spot. He's going to pull up to show his unhappiness there with Bonner. But now he's going to go to the outside. And Bonner's going to say, hold on tight, Eisburn. We're going to the front.
Yeah, that was not a great restart on the outside there, but it looks like everyone's going to be able to maintain. And, you know, they are going to have the draft and be able to run up there to the outside. You see Kyle Hess jumping to the outside to try to get around Kingsley Smith on that inside.
Yeah, what a head of steam that Hess and Eisburn have on that outside lane. And now they're just back to that side-by-side racing that we have been seeing the last 50 laps. And so this race, you know, a lot of movement. Hess to the outside after hanging low with everybody. Eisburn up into the wall. You know, that's going to hurt Hess and the outside progression here. But I mean, now it's go time. You got to figure out who you're going to finally work with here at the closing laps of this race. And big trouble!
Look.
Oh, the one car up in the air. One, two, the 38 completely upside down. Trevor Fettig in the 711 machine, he's upside down in his race car. The one machine of Steve Casil, he was up in the air at one point. And ladies and gentlemen, the big one has finally struck here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Let's come back here and take a look and see what caused this absolute mayhem of a wreck.
Once you get done with that, I need you to right on board with the 5 car because he took a big lick.
Yeah, for sure. Let's all right. So, one of the first ones involved. Nope. Let's go back just a little bit more, guys. All right. All right. So, you see Kyle Hess there on the outside. The 40 comes up and gets into him. And then comes back down into the 89. That sends the 89 to the outside lane in front of Eisburn. And then Steve Casil, he gets hit by Kyle Hess and Eisburn, which sends him up onto wheels, up into the outside wall hard, as he will come back down just fine. Trevor Fettig in that number 711 machine, slowing down, trying to miss everything. Not able to miss the number 89, and that just rockets him right onto his roof. And so that's the only hit there that 711 machine he will do, as everybody else, you know, just gets involved here. Let's come back here and let's see if we can get a good look here from hopefully our blimp. Let's see what our blimp sees here. All right. And we're going to go to Kyle Hess. Let's go. Full speed mayhem, engage. Yeah, as you guys see, they're just pure mayhem. Take away there. And you said you wanted me to ride on board with the 5 car, correct?
Oh yeah, he got the Dale and Hart treatment.
Let's go ahead and uh, come back here. Click on Brandon. We're going to ride roll bar shotgun with him. Let's take a look, see what he saw. Full speed. Oh! Almost made it through. Hard hit there. Oh, very tough break there for that number 5 of Brandon Puffenbarger. All right, so we're gonna line them up. We're gonna do this all over again, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna come to oh, what is it? Just about 10 laps to go when we go back green flag, maybe 11 laps. So I'm anticipating, you know, some really good racing here once again out of these drivers. And let's see what Jesse Fox can do on the outside of Kensley Smith.
Yeah, Jesse working his way back up there towards the front finally, and look at that, Andrew Teth behind Kinsley Smith, and that's a dangerous duo to have together.
Yeah, definitely. You know, as we were saying, you know, it's not going to take long for Andrew Teth to get up front here, as he was just back in that 12th spot, maybe about 10 laps ago, and you know, here he is now running in that 4th spot.
Yeah, as we are going to come, you know, to the restarts on this time, we're going to have 10 lap shootout, and it should be a very interesting 10 laps as all the aggression is going to be out and the foots are going to be to the floor.
Absolutely. Kensley Smith, Jesse Fox into the Echo Park restart zone, and we are green flag racing once again, powered by SDK Gaming. Kensley Smith once again out to a very far jump there. But here comes that outside lane, starting to get a little bit more formed up there with Troy Thomas right behind that 69 machine of Jesse Fox, as they are now working around the outside. Jesse Fox is clear from that second driver on the inside, but he's going to stay right there and allow Barry Nelson in that number 28 machine to push him towards the front of this race lead. And without any help for Kensley Smith, this pair up front, they're going to probably be able to drive around Kensley Smith here, unless that inside lane starts to get reformed. But so far, Kensley Smith holding it very strong as we have 9 laps to go this time by. And now, Kensley Smith has help from Andrew Teft in that number 98 machine, as they are now getting themselves reformed on the inside lane.
You know, I honestly expected that 69 to just blow the doors off Kinsley Smith there, but Kinsley Smith did a really good job on that inside lane to keep himself in the mix there, as now he has a little bit of help.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I'm very surprised that Barry Nelson didn't attempt to, you know, get behind Barry and push, get behind Smith and push Smith in front of Jesse Fox. So, I mean, I'm just very surprised about that action there. You know, but I guess he thought, you know, that was the best way to get around Kensley Smith. But unfortunately, that inside lane was able to get reformed. And now these guys are kind of just stuck hanging out on the outside as they now come through turns 3 and 4, coming to 7 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, and they do have more help coming as Ryan Warp, you know, working his way up there with 2 more cars behind him on that outside lane. So they might be able to get a little bit of a head of steam build up once those cars get caught up.
Oh man, Barry Nelson up into that wall out of the tri-oval. That's something that he needs to be careful of, because that right there just cost them a couple spots on that outside lane. But now they've got themselves again. Now he has to work even extra hard to get Jesse Fox back alongside of Kensley Smith for the race lead. These cars now starting to have trouble, it seems, keeping themselves, you know, glued to that inside through the tri-oval. Iceburn, I believe, was that Iceburn? No, I don't know who that was down on the inside. 4th car on the inside, probably Joshua Neal. Yeah, now they are racing 3 wide behind them. You got the 89, the 40 up into the wall. Truth Hoke is stuck in the middle. So they will go ahead and get those
behind them too.
Yeah, those cars now 3 wide back there for just probably about that 20th spot. As we continue to watch this battle up front now, still side by side, Fox and Smith now still trying to get it all figured out as they come out of turn number 2. That outside lane once again getting disformed, and so that inside lane is going to start to prevail here just a little bit. But as of right now, there they go. Now Kensley Smith is back on the inside of Fox. Fox got it out, in front of Smith there just a little bit. He could have come down and taken over that top spot, but he decided to stay up there with Barry Nelson in that number 28.
Man, we are 4 to go, and things are getting real tight back there behind them.
Oh, absolutely, as they still continue to run side by side. They need to get that outside lane more formed up if they want to have any shot, to make up a couple spots here. And they have their opportunity as the inside lane is now spread out, but they're spread out just as much on the outside. And that Troy Thomas machine is still having trouble keeping up with that. Your top
got a wreck in the back.
Yep, trouble back here. The 40 car down into the wall. Hold it down. We're still green flag racing, and that will be Richie Joplin and Joe Bonner. So they're going to drop back as we are going to stay green flag racing with 3 laps to go. Well, 2.5 laps now, as they will make their way in turns 3 and 4 now, coming to 2 to go this time. It's still anybody's race at this point, but right now that inside lane of Kensley Smith is still holding strong. If it was the white flag that time, though, Jesse Fox would have won that race. So it still is showing, that anything can happen here with 2 laps to go as these drivers start getting a little bit more closer to work that side draft. But so far, so clean as they run 3 wide behind your top 6. And now it's all down to Kensley Smith, Jesse Fox, Andrew Teft, and Barry Nelson, your top 4 here as they come out of turn number 4. The white flag is out as we have caution behind them, but we took the white flag already. Green flag all the way through. The next flag will win it. Brandon Puffenbarger, Steve Best. This will be an absolute drag race. That outside lane not getting anywhere at this moment as there's only 2 of them on the outside. Fox and Barry Nelson, they're still fighting strong on that outside, but here comes Kensley Smith and Andrew Teft working out on that inside lane. Barry Nelson gets a little bit back behind Fox, not able to help him. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the race line, it's going to be Kensley Smith wins here at Charlotte.
And boy, was that a close finish right there. The 69 just had a little more help, man.
Man, if Barry Nelson stayed on him through turns 3 and 4, that could have been even closer of a finish.
Andrew Test giving them a little bit of love tap, and these guys are just having a little bit of fun now.
Yep, up, 1 car upside down. Barrel
83
rolling.
Went to go get on a tap, now he's flipping.
Yep, the 83.
He's still flipping.
Yeah, let's come back here and catch up with all this chaos happening back here. All right, so we have a couple things we need to come back here and digest just a little bit here as Kensley Smith is trying to get his number 15 machine to start doing his burnout here. Not able to do anything with it so far. All right, there he goes. Now he's getting it done. Ladies and gentlemen, the mini takeover 105 here at Charlotte. Race winner Kensley Smith getting it done once again here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, which is actually probably Kensley Smith's hometown track, as he is from Tarboro, North Carolina. So definitely a big win out of him. So let's go back 1 lap before we got to the white flag. Let's see here. Joe Bonner, Richie Joplin, they went off track. So let's come here, take a look here, see what happened. Richie Joplin in that number 89 machine, as they are looking to go 4 wide here. He was minding his own business in that 40 machine and the 32 there of Blair Holloman. They come up, make a little contact. The 40 comes up into Joplin as they make contact again. That 5 car able to not hit them as these two drivers went down and slammed into that inside wall. And as we come to the white flag, let's see who was it? Who was it? Ryan Warp in that number 45 machine. Let's come here out of turn number 2. Let's take a look, or I'm sorry, turn 4. As you see that number 4 machine getting one heck of a head of steam there. That's Dennis Kane on the coming up the middle. He slides up, gets into Warp and the 55 of Truth Hoke. Truth Hoke loses it, comes down into the 4, who comes up into the 45 machine, and they both, or all 3 of those guys lose it, coming here through the tri-oval. And so luckily, however, the 5 car was not able to avoid that one. Let's go back here just a little bit. Brandon Puffenbarger, he had a wild ride. He bounces off there and he goes once over, able to keep it on track. Trevor Fettig, he was involved here at some point as well. So we're gonna, he slowed down and he decided he's going to take the cheap way out and possibly come down here into the grass. Yep, he decides to come down the grass as that's the safest route. So definitely good, good spot there. And we said, who was that one flipping end over end after the checkered?
I don't quite remember.
Well, I don't remember either. So we're going to watch this final out of turn 4 here. And we're going to watch these guys come all the way down here into turn 3 and 4. Because that was one heck of a ride for whoever that was who decided to pile in there at the last second.
I feel like it was the 83.
The 83 of Rob Yost. Yeah, he went up into the wall over once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5. Oh, another car is upside down as well. Who was that? We're having a good old time now, guys. Oh, that's the 50 of Terry Fennell. He's upside down. And he's just going to slide down here in turns 3 and 4 down the track. And he's going to come to a rest upside down. Oh, nope. He's going to get turned back over onto his wheels. A lot of these guys don't. Whatever you guys just saw, as you see the 82 going backwards down pit road, Joshua Neal coming down into his pit stall backwards. What you guys just saw post race, you guys, that's normal for these guys. They like to have fun. You know, they like to have a little demolition derby at the end of this. But ladies and gentlemen, your race winner is going to be Kensley Smith. And let's go ahead and bring in your top 3 drivers here. Andrew Teff, Jesse Fox, Kensley Smith. Let's go ahead and bring up Andrew Teff in that number 98 machine. And I'll let you take it over.
How's it going, Andrew? You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, you know, we know she's back there in that 12th spot, and I said, I might start calling you Joe Hendry, because every time we bring up your name, you somehow magically end up in the front of the race. Give us a play-by-play how your race went, though.
Oh yeah, that was a roller coaster. A lot of fun though. Can't wait to do one of these again. You know, most of the race I kind of just hung out and made sure I left myself an out in case an accident happened, and there was a few of them, and somehow I managed to skate right through the middle of that giant one at the end, and I think I was like fourth for one of the final restarts, and was able to hang on there toward the end, and I was hoping to maybe push Kensley out, far enough for me to be able to move up in front of Jesse and make a move, but yeah, I think if I pushed him any harder than that, I probably just would have spun him out.
Yeah, that's another thing. The outside line was just working so well, even with not having a really draft partner up there. I mean, what was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the temperatures were a little warm tonight. Last time we raced here, the lines were even more equal than this, so I was curious to see how that was going to play out. I was hoping the bottom would have to lift a little bit, and maybe we get some passing up top, but maybe not quite warm enough. Maybe a daytime would help with that, but still a ton of fun, and just a little hard to get through the pack, kind of respectfully, because in order to make it pass, you really have to put it 3 wide on somebody, and it's really sketchy, but a lot of fun when you can do it right.
Fair enough. Mike, you got any questions for him?
No, Andrew, just once again, what a phenomenal run for you. You pulled yourself all the way up 7 spots. So just once again, a phenomenal job in that number 98 machine. Is there any shout outs that you would like to give before we let you go today?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys in the booth for helping out, or servicemen and women. Chantel and Race Control, Kensley for doing my paints, and congratulations to him on the win. I was really hoping to see Jesse get it too. I was kind of torn there. I knew I couldn't really make a move. There was no space to pull out and make a move on the bottom, and I was kind of locked in. So just did the best to push my lane, and hopefully it repays at some point. I think just friends, family, team, and I can't talk. If you're interested in checking this out, just head on over to racerselite.com. We've got a ton of single events coming up, a lot of free ones, and a lot of money races also. You can find all the info there.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, driver of that number 98 Toyota Racers Elite machine, it's going to be Andrew Teff coming home third. We will see you tomorrow night.
Thanks, guys.
Alrighty, what an incredible run out of Andrew. Let's go ahead and bring up driver of that number 69 machine of
Y'all,
Jesse Fox. Jesse, this is
yeah.
Mike and Dakota up in the booth. They got a copy.
Hey guys, I got a copy. How y'all doing?
Doing pretty good. Jesse, what an incredible run out of you in that number 69 machine. You come up 11 spots. Tell us how fast that number 69 machine and what was the hardest part about your day?
Oh man, I tell you what, when we were leading, me and Terry was leading for quite a while, and we went in for the pit during that one caution, well, the last caution that we pitted. We were lower on gas than everybody else, so we went from first to 11th, and that was just we were just waiting for a gap. It's not going to happen unless you take it 3 wide. You're not going to be able to pass. But that big wreck happened, and me, Andrew, Barry, a lot of us just slid right through it, man. And that was luck. That just got us in position to give us a chance.
Yeah, it was definitely very good to see you come up and, work your way back into the top two after that. You guys pitted back on lap 60, and as we're taking a look here, post race activities between you and some of the other guys, having a little bit of fun here.
Oh yeah, that's a blast.
Oh yeah. But I mean, just all around, what a good race. Dakota, do you have any questions for Jesse?
Man, you're making that outside line work really good for you. You think you'd have been able to win the race? You had just a little bit more help there.
I had a teammate behind me. Me and Barry are teammates, and he gave me a shove, and it was at the right time. I was hoping I wasn't pinching Kinsley too low because I seen Andrew there, and I knew if we left him a gap, he was going to go for it. He gave me the right push, and Andrew just had that push on Kinsley maybe just a moment later, and that's 6 thousandths of a second. That's what did it. But absolute blast. Yeah, I won this one last time we were here, and I was really hoping I'd get another one. Yeah, this is an absolute blast. I absolutely love these cars. What a blast.
Yeah, you did a phenomenal job, and again, congratulations on your P2 finish. Do you got anyone you want to thank?
Oh, I will give a shout out to my teammates, Truth, Troy, Terry, Barry. Um, oh gosh, I'm sure I'm missing people. Stephanie, my wife, is always watching. She's always in the chat. Big shout out to Andrew for just putting on these amazing combos that he does, and a big shout out to Chantel in race control. This she shows up every night for us. She's we're busy. I mean, we're here several nights a week, and she's there for us every single night. And she does an absolutely outstanding job. I want to give her a shout out too. But and you guys, just the absolute awesome broadcast you guys do. Absolutely, thank you all so much.
Appreciate you. But Mike, I'll let you go ahead and take back over.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a driver of that number 69 mini stock, Jesse Fox, bringing it home second. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
All righty.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to bring up Mr. Draft Man himself, Mr. Super Speedway Superman, Kensley Smith. Kensley, this is Dakota Mike up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Kensley, we are talking to you once again here in Victory Lane. Man, I swear, there's just something about you and Super Speedways that, we blink and you're right up front and usually coming home with a win. How fast was that beautiful painted up number 15 Napa Auto Parts mini stock today?
Well, I channel my inner Mikey at the Super Speedways. I'm just like him. I'm shit everywhere else, and I'm sorry for my language. I'm crap everywhere else, and only good at Super Speedways. So, but I mean, this race was fun. This is something different, something out of the ordinary that we do in this league compared to all of our other series. There's more. This one's more out there. It's called Full Sim Fridays for a reason. So these races are always fun, and especially ones like these where these cars aren't really necessarily meant to be doing this, and somehow we make it work.
Yeah, definitely. These cars are an absolute blast to run at this track in this configuration. Um, but I mean, all around, like, were you worried about Jesse Fox in that outside lane coming to the checkered?
Of course, I rode a lot out there in the outside lane a lot of this race, so I knew what it could do, and if you timed everything right, you could get out in front and get down in front of that and in front of that bottom lane. So of course I was worried about it. I was just having in mind what I was doing and hoping Andrew was going to give me the pushes at the right time, which he did, and it allowed me to come out with the win. Um, I think I won by .006 or something like that. So it was really close, really fun. Jesse gave it a heck of a run along with Barry. Um, yeah, it was just a really fun finish.
Absolutely. Dakota, do you have any questions for Kensley?
I got one question for you, bud. How did you feel about the 4 car getting stuck on the safer barrier?
That was actually kind of funny. I've never seen him. I've seen him get stuck in the fence,
Yep.
but I haven't seen him get stuck between the safer barrier and the actual wall. So that was a first.
Yeah, he was wedged in there pretty good. I think he had to take a quick trip to the infield care center before he got back out on the track. But congratulations on the win, man. You always do a really good job with these super speedway top races, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. You got anyone you want to shout out?
Of course, you guys in the booth. Gonna rewatch this one with my wife and my daughter, and I'm sure it'll be a fun one to rewatch. And of course, Andrew for putting on the league for us and all these series that he does and all these special events and everything. It's a lot to handle, and I don't know how he does it. I would never be able to do something like this and put all this stuff on like he does, and keep track with all the names and everything else. And of course, all the guys that show up every week and race these series. Um, we're getting a good group going, and I think we're averaging about 20 drivers a race, so that's good. And of course, my wife and my daughter allowing me to sit here on a Friday and do this rather than going out and doing something. They they it takes a toll on us drivers doing this, but it also takes a toll on our families, and none of us would be able to do this without our families allowing us to do it and having no problem with us doing it.
I definitely back that 100%. You know, I've been doing this for 16 years now, and without my family support, I don't even think I would be sitting here today if it wasn't for them. But
Yes, sir.
yeah, but I guess that's all we got for you, Kesley. We will see you next week.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kensley Smith, driver of that number 15 Napa mini stock, coming home first once again here in the Full Send Friday. You know, I have been, like I said, I've been here on this service for almost 16 years, and I have never, ever seen a car get stuck in between the wall and the safer barrier. So that's definitely a first. I'm going to spread it around a little bit, see if anybody else has seen it, because maybe that's something that we may have captured for the very first time ever here on iRacing. But but it's definitely going to be very interesting to hear if it's ever happened to anybody else.
Yeah, I got stuck in the wall at Bristol the other day running a dirt car, and that caught me off guard. I wasn't actually in the wall; I was on the track, but it was registering that I was stuck in the wall and I couldn't
Yes.
drive.
Yep, I've been stuck in the wall. I've been, stuck on top of the wall. I've been stuck in the catch fence, but I've never seen anybody get stuck in between the wall and the safer barrier. That is absolutely just crazy. Before we end up the race here today, let's go ahead and take a look here at our final race results. And out front, as always, Kensley Smith. And then number 15, Machine, followed by Jesse Fox, Andrew Teff, Barry Nelson, Troy Thomas will round out your top 5. Joshua Neal, Rob Yost, Jonathan Stidham, Blair Holloman, Terry Fennell, Dennis Kane, Timothy Eisburn, Mike Fudge, Steve Cassell, Richie Joplin, Joe Bonner, Mikey Allen, Truth Hoke will round out your top 18. Jack Kelly, Ryan Warp, top 20. Steve Vest, Brandon Buffenbarger, Aaron Roth, Trevor Fettig, Kyle Hess, Brett Bray, JB Harrison, and rounding out your fields going to be Corey Crowell and Matt Metler. For some odd reason, there it goes. Matt Miller, he will round out our field back in that 29th spot. Dakota, before we go today, what are your final thoughts on tonight's race?
Final thoughts is it was a pretty good race. They put on a hell of a show for this to be mini stocks, and I mean, we're leading up to a couple more fun races. So definitely tune in and check that out. The 12th, we're gonna have the trucks at the iRacing Superspeedway, which a lot of people don't get to see much anymore. As you know, a lot of leagues don't use the iRacing Superspeedway. And then the 19th, we're going to be going to Dega in the 87s, which would be like your Buicks, your Pontiacs, and stuff like that. Those are very fun to watch as well. So just be sure to tune in the next couple of weeks and check that out, as it's going to be interesting races to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely going to be some very good racing next week, or in the next couple weeks, I should say. But tomorrow night, right here on the Racers Elite Network, we are going to do our version of the the snowball derby over at Five Flags. So you guys, make sure you guys come on out for tomorrow night. It's going to be an absolute blast to watch these drivers in the super late models take to that speedway. Other than that, yeah, this race was an absolute blast to watch. Definitely enjoyed ourselves here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, Mike Taylor, my good buddy Dakota LaRue, thank you for joining me once again up here in the booth. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, always remember, no matter what you do in life, have fun doing it. And you know how it goes. You have yourself a good time zones. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you later. Bye.
With a head of steam moving to the outside his chin, Richie says it can't be done. Tony Shallen says turn on the reggae music
There is just one more lap remaining, and look how close Modolf is. He got the slipstream.
There we go. 2 laps to settle it in the Blue Emu Firecracker 400. Whatever you got to give it now. Back to green we go.
On the final lap, side by side, they still run wheel to wheel. Now, through the snake, the S's we go. Quaro edges ahead. Modolf is still there.
White flag, one more to go on the Daytona 250. Keplinger leads that lap. Who's going to lead the last one?
To the line, look at that, Dave Chapman, he's going to send it around the outside final corner. Has he got it done?
Continuing to go side by side for the lead through 3 and 4, and they manage it safely. Now through 5.
And hunting for a way by
Side
it
by
all.
side.
Round 2 between Phil Sellinger and Go.
To the outside. White flag is out side by side. They make contact in the turn number 1. Ooh, gets him onto the grass now, down to the inside. Andy T, a little bit of a wiggle and the perfect crossover there from Polly Portson to defend the position. Andy T totally sideways. They're still sideways going into Siberia.
And getting ready to cross, he goes around the outside, but it's not enough.
Eden's up the racetrack. Cardwell down the track. A photo finish. James Eden wins it.
It's still 4 abreast into the braking zone. This is sensational racing.
And here comes Bowden. It's going to be a drag race to the end. Then side by side, who gets it?
Williams tries to cover him off, but once again, pulling the over-under. Daniel Morad is going to win with a last quarter pass.
Newsom's coming up right there. By the corner, it's going to be pinned.
Mullender's going to come back at him. It's going to be a race to the line. Does he have enough? Down to it.
And they're wrecking in 3. Here comes Michael Cozy Jr. Michael Cozy Jr.'s got the lead.
He looks to the inside, side by side for the race lead.